So another question கேட்டீங்க 10.0.0.0 is a class A network. By default, only this is the network portion, and these three octets are host portion. So in the host portion, the least bit in this octet, if it is 1, then the IP will be like this 10.0.0.1. Here you have 8-bit, no? The least bit. When it is 1, it becomes 1. Now when the host bits all turns to 1, then it becomes a broadcast. It becomes a broadcast. This is first and this is broadcast. Then which one is lost? Lost is one less than this, which will be 10.255.255.254. This is the first IP, this is the last IP, and this is the broadcast of this network 10.0.0.0. All the intermediate addresses are host addresses. For example, 10.100.200.10. What is this? This is one of the IP address in between here, isn't it? You will get many lakhs of IP address actually. Between this and this, you will have lakhs of IP address. Let me show you how many. Calculator. 2 to the power of 24. Why I put 24? Because 24 bits are host bits. 2 to the power of 24. And 0 we don't use. 255.255.255 we don't use because 0 is a network. 255.255.255 is a broadcast. So I put -2. These many IP address you have in between this and this. These many IP address. 1, 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh, crore. 1 crore. In US, if I invest in, if I need to say it's 16 million IP address. Yeah. These many IP address you will get in just one 10 network. What is the next question? No. You see. Answer to your question is, you see, 10 dot, all these bits are host bits. All these bits are host bits. By default, all will be 0. That is how you get 10.0.0.0. And then the very first one is here. You put it as 1 and you got this one. Yeah. And then next is this one will become 1 and this will become 0. So you'll get 10.0.0.2. Afterwards, this will become 1, this will also become 1. 2 plus 1 is how much? 3. So likewise, when all these are 1, it is 128 plus 64. You know how you got 128 here? 2 to the power of 7. This is 2 to the power of 0. 32, 16, 8, 4 to 1. When you add all these values, you get 255. So your first IP is 10001, and then next IP is 10002. It keeps going like this, and then you reached what? 10.0.0.255, isn't it? Afterwards, still the host bits are not over. Don't call this as broadcast. Still the host bits are not over. After this, if you add 1 to this, see, you add 1, right? When you add 1, you get 2. When you add 1, you get 3. So likewise, if you add 1, what do you get? 256. Where is the 256? You know, it is in the next update. 10.0.1. This is what 256.0. This is also an IP address. இங்க 0 இருக்குது அது எப்படி IP address ஆகும் அப்படிலாம் யோசிக்க வேண்டாம் அது IP address தான். It's a valid IP address. You can assign this to a computer. Okay, because the host bit 1 is here. It is 0.1.0 computer. Got it? And then 10.0.1.1 goes like that till where? Yes, 10.0.1.255. After this, it goes like 10.0.2.0, 10.0.2.1, 10.0.2.255. Likewise, this 2 also grows to 3, 4, 5, up to 255, and then 10.1.0.0, 10.1.0.1, 10.1.0.2, and then this will become 255, again 10.1.1.255. 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.2. Likewise, this will become 2, this will become 3, and then after another 255 network, this will become 4. After another 255 network IP address, it will become 5, and it reaches 255. When this reaches 255, the next will be 2 here. Only because of this, you get that 16 million. You cannot write all this thing. Just for your understanding, I'm writing this. Don't think too deep like this. It's good, okay, once to understand, but no need to think too much like this. If you understood, fine, leave it. Don't do these things. It will take pages of your notebook. What's the next question? Subnetting, what question you have? Correct. We have not borrowed any bits from the host. We have only the default allocated bits, host bits, and we have some dedicated bits as the host bits, some dedicated bit as the network bit. When you borrow some bits from the host, we call it a subnetting. How many bits you need to borrow? It depends on how many networks you want to break. From one network, how many networks you want to break? From one network, how many networks you want to break? How many subnet you want to have? That determines how many bits you will borrow from the host bit. For example, 10.0.0.0 is the actual network without subnetting, and the mask is only 255, which means that only 8 bits out of 32 is network. Now, when you have a requirement like I need Three departments, three subnets. I want three networks. Out of this one network, I want three networks. Based on this, you need to decide. This is your input. With this input, you need to find how many bits I need to borrow. What happened? Very big sound. Are you okay? Hmm. You see, 10 dot, this is network, so I'm not writing in binary. Ten dot, all these other bits are host bit. I'm going to make some of these bits as network bit so that I can have three subnets. See, here you cannot touch. It is already reserved for networking. That is what we call as mask. 255. If it is written 255, which means the entire octet is already blocked. Even though the number inside is 10, it is sealed. You cannot go and change it as 9 or 11. It is sealed. That's what 255 there means. Now, we need to borrow some host bits to be a network bit. We need to borrow some host bit to be a network bit. That is how we do subnetting. But how many bits I should borrow? The formula is like this. 2 to the power of number of bits that you are going to borrow minus 2, sorry, do minus 1. This is the latest formula. Minus 1, that will give you the number of subnets. Number of subnets. Are you following me? Okay. So number of subnets is determined by how many bits you borrow. If I borrow only one bit, then 2 to the power of 1 minus 1 is what? Anything power 1 is 2 only. 2 minus 1 is 2 minus 2 to the power of 1 is 2, minus 1 is 1. But how many subnets I need? I need 3. I'm getting only 1. If I borrow only 1 bit, I'll get only 1. So let us borrow 2 bit and see. What do you get? 2 to the power of 2 minus 1 is what? Yes. You see, for 3 subnet, we need to borrow 2 bits. For 3 subnets, we need to borrow 2 bits. So this number only tells you how many bits to borrow. So I'm going to borrow this bit and this bit. You should not borrow here. When you're talking about network, you should take only from left to right. Earlier, we were talking about host. When we are talking about host, we start from right to left. Correct, no? Earlier, we were talking about host. Now we are talking about network. When you're talking about network, it should be from left to right. So, 2 bits you are going to borrow. If you are going to borrow 2 bits, now I'll give you one shortcut, the easiest way and best way to do. You see the face value of this place. What is the value of this place? Do you know? Exactly. 64. which means the incremental value should be, first you start with 0, 10.0.0.0, and then you say 10.64.0.0, and then you say 10.128.0.0, and then till when I need to go, keep adding, till you get the number which is sum of these two borrowed bits. What is the value here? 128. 128 plus 64 is what? 191. 191. So that is the new subnet mask. Because you made these two as network, the new subnet mask will be 255.192.0.0. So this is the new subnet mask. And here also you need to keep adding the 64 till you reach 192. 10 dot 128 plus 62 is, sorry, 64 is 192. All right. Now 0.0. But when all the host bits are on, when all the borrowed bits are on, we should not use it. Okay. So just put like this, a wrong symbol. Then why did I write this? I'll tell you why we write this. We write this to write the broadcast ID without mistake. Listen. How many subnets you want? 3. See, you got 3 subnets. 1, 2, 3. What is the mask of this one? See, the default mask is /8. Now you borrow 2 more bits. Now, then what is the mask of this one? Slash. This is equal to /10. 8-bit plus 2-bit. Now, if this is the network, what is the first IP? If this is the network, what is the first IP? If this is the network, what is the first IP? Exactly. Now, next. If this is the next network, the broadcast of this will be 10.63.255.255. I hope you understand. See, if next network is 64, then definitely the last of this one will be 63.255. Do you agree? அடுத்த நெட்வொர்க் 64 இருக்கும்னா இந்த நெட்வொர்க் 63ல தானே முடியணும். ஆமா, அதான் எழுதிருக்கேன். 63. அப்புறம் மீதி ஆக்டேட்ல இருக்கிற ஹோஸ்ட் பிட் எல்லாம் மேக்ஸிமம் போயிடணும் இல்லையா? ப்ராட்காஸ்ட்ல நம்ம ஏற்கனவே என்ன பேசணும்? ஹோஸ்ட் பிட்ஸ் எல்லாம் ஆன் ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா ப்ராட்காஸ்ட் இல்லையா? When all the host bits are on, you get broadcast. That is what I got here. 255.255. Did you understand now? Now what will be the last one? Last IP 10.63.255.254. So first IP is this, last IP is this. All right, now in this network, what will be the broadcast? 10.127.255.255. Do you agree? Because the next network is 128. And what will be the last one? 10.127.255.254. 254. தயவுசெய்து இங்க குறைச்சிடாதீங்க, 126 போட்டுறாதீங்க. ஹோஸ்ட்னா இங்க தான் குறைக்கணும். The last host IP address தானே. So you need to only reduce from the host side, not the network side. Now tell me, what is the broadcast of this network? Exactly. Okay. Now, if you understood it very, very well, then you let me know. I'll give you one sum to do. First, you go through what I have taught you now. Okay, then I'll give you one sample if you're ready. 172.16.0.0. Same requirement. Same requirement. How many departments, how many subnets? 3 subnets. Do it. This is class B, so do carefully. Wonderful that you have done it. Let me write the answer. 172.16.0.0 slash. The default mask is 16.255.255. Now you added another 2 bits, so it becomes 255.255.192.0. So this is what we call as new subnet mask. Or you can also write in a VLSM notation. We call it as variable length subnet mask notation, in which you can write like 16 plus 2, 18. So this is 18. The next network will be 172.16.64.0, 172.16.128.0 slash 18 slash 18. Then 172.16 dot using. Now the first IP of this will be 172.16.0.1, and the last is going to be 172.16.63. This will be 172.16.127.255, and then this will be 172.16.191.255. The last will be 172.16.63.254, and this will be 127.254. One 27.254. This will be 191.254, and this will be 64.1, 128.1. That's it. Did you write this correct? That's good. Then I'm going to give you another one. Would you like to try? Same 10 network, and number of departments are 7. Means 7 subnets. Try, and once you're done, you let me know. That's wonderful. Now I'll write down the answer here. You correct yourself, and if you have any questions, you may ask. Now the formula would have given you answer like you need to borrow 3 bits. These are the 3 bits, and the other bits are still the host bits. So when you borrow 3 bits, the default subnet mask 255.0.0.0 will be now turned into new subnet mask, which will be 255.224.0.0, which can also be written as /11. Now the value here is 32, so you will be incrementing by 32. 10.0.0.0 /11, 10.0. No, 10.32.0.0 /11, 10.64.0.0 /11. Till I reach 255, I need to write. So 10.96.0.0, 10.128.0.0, 10.160.0.0, 10.192.0.0, 10.224.0.0. You don't use this. You see, you need 7 subnet. You already got them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Eighth one you don't use. 7 you need. Okay. Now the first IP here will be the first IP here will be the first IP here will be, and you know how to fill the remaining. Now the broadcast will be, am I right? Did you get the same answer? 95.255.255. And the last IP will be 254, isn't it? Everywhere. So you know how to fill, and if you want me to fill, I'll fill. Otherwise, you can fill it by yourself. Is this clear for you? Shall I fill all the places? No, 32.0.1. See, this is the network. So network cannot go in reverse. This is last, 31 is last of the previous network. 31 is last of the previous network. How can here you will get 31? It should be 32. Starting from 0 to 31. Here starting from 32 to 63. Here starting from 64 to 95. What happened? Go back to your previous 3-bit scenario and check. Sorry, 2-bit. Go back to the previous one and then come here. Go back to the previous one, check it. Are you clear with this one? Did you write these things correct? Okay. Now, what is in the second network? 32. Then what will be the broadcast of the previous one? 10.31. Correct. So you're okay with this first one? You agree this first one is right? Okay. Now, do you agree with this 31.0, 32.0.1 will be the first IP? Do you agree? Now, if this is the first IP, the last IP will be 63.255.255 because next network is 64. Do you agree? If next network is 64, the broadcast of this will be 63.255.255. Correct or not? Where is the question now? Where is the confusion now? அந்த மாதிரி நீங்க முன்னால இருக்க சம்ஸ் எல்லாம் பண்ணீங்களா? இப்போ இததான் எடுத்துக்க கூடாது. ஏன்னா the borrowed bits are all the borrowed bits are on. When all the borrowed bits are on, I said not to use it. Even in the previous case, the borrowed bits are on here. 2 bits you borrow. You should not use. போனதுக்கும் இந்த இதுக்கும் என்ன உங்களுக்கு வேறுபாடு பாக்குறீங்க? எனக்கு ஒன்றும் புரியல. போனது அப்ப சரியா பண்ணலன்னா தான் இப்ப இங்க குழப்பம் வரும். Okay. That is wrong. So correct this one first, and then do the next one from the beginning. Correct this 172.16 first. Correct your mistake. And then go and do the next one. What 12255? 10.31.255.255. First IP 1, first computer. Second IP 2, 3, 4, 5, 255 போயிடும். 255 போயிடுச்சுன்னா இங்க 1 ஆகும். 1.0, 1.1, 1.2 போயிட்டு இருக்கும். அப்புறமா 2 ஆகும். இங்க 2 ஆகும். அப்புறமா இங்க 3 ஆகும். அப்புறமா இங்க 255 ஆகும். அப்புறமா இங்க 1 ஆகும். அப்புறமா 1.0.1, 1.0.2 அப்படி இப்படி போயிட்டு லட்சக்கணக்கா வரும். ஆமா, இங்க 0 இருக்குது. மூணாவது ஆக்டிவிட்டி இது மூணாவது ஆக்டிவிட்டி சொல்லுங்க. அங்க 255 போச்சுன்னா இங்க 10.1.0.1 10.1.0.0 வரும். See, when it reaches 10.0.255.255, next will be 10.1.0.0, 10.1.0.1, and this will go up to 255. Again, this will become 1. Again, this will go to 255. This will become 2. And at last, it will become 255. And this becomes 255. Next, this will become 1. And this will become 2, 3, 4. No. நான் என்ன சொன்னேன், இதெல்லாம் ரொம்ப யோசிக்காதீங்க, தேவையில்லாது. லேக்ஸ் கணக்கில் மில்லியன்ஸ் கணக்கில் வர்றது, இதெல்லாம் யோசிக்காதீங்க. All that you need to know is starting from 0 till 31 is first department subnet. Starting from 32 till 63 is next department. Do you know that much? That is important. Don't worry about the intermediate. You are not going to do all this thing in the real world. This is to learn how the subnetting works. All right? You are not going to assign IP address to computers. You will be just giving this to DHCP. What you will do? You will just give this to the DHCP server. DHCP server will give these things to the department. And to another DHCP server, you will give this one. For another network, for another department. For another department, there will be another DHCP server. You will be giving this one. When you give to the DHCP server this one, it will only give only within this range. You have a very good question now. You see, how many usable hosts? You're copying the internet question. I appreciate, but not a good way. You already know the answer for this. You already know starting from 0 to 31.255.254 is the usable host. But in interview question or in the internet ready-made questions, they will be telling in number. See how many bits are there. Already network is 8-bit. And then you have given 3-bit. So 11-bit is gone. Out of 32, 11-bit is gone. How many is remaining? 16 plus 6. Isn't it? 16 plus 6 is what? 22. 22, 2 to the power of 22 minus 2 is the usable host. 22 bit or host bit. இதெல்லாம் ரெடிமேட் ஃபார்முலா. இது நிறைய பேர் ஃபார்முலாவா படிச்சுட்டு போவானுங்க. That is not the way to learn. What you are doing is the right way of learning. Okay, so now I'll give you another one. Sorry. Right. This is for your homework. 192.168.0.0. 5 departments. Means 5 subnets needed. நீங்க